Hello again and welcome back to The Front Row, a minor production of the First Congregational Church in South Pekin, where our intent is to bring snippets from our Sunday morning message into your week. Welcome to the week after Easter. I hope you are still celebrating because the promise of the good news, the message of the gospel, should be carried with us every single day. It's a good reason for celebration every single day of our lives. Of course, we are reflecting on our message from Easter Sunday. Yesterday, we talked about the fact that there were three sermons that were preached. The first one being Peter to the people of Jerusalem, and then there was Stephen's message, and there was Paul's message a little bit later in Acts 13. And all three of them had a couple similarities. One is they went through the entire arc of God's love story with his people and with us, because especially when we get into Paul's message later, that's opened up to the Gentiles. He's speaking to the people of Antioch. So it's the Jews and God-fearing Gentiles that this message is consistent in. It's the overarching arc of God's love. But the second thing that is part of all three of those stories is something that can get you and I in trouble in today's world. I have to be careful even in the fact that I'm recording this on video and going to be out on a public forum like YouTube or Facebook when I say these words. Because what happens in all three of those messages, and I think is a part of the message of the gospel, is a form of finger pointing. I'll quote Peter when he was speaking this message to the Jews. He said, "God has made this Jesus, whom you crucified, both Lord and Christ." Stephen used even stronger language, and it got him killed. Paul, in Acts chapter 13, used very direct language. He ends up in prison and stoned. He was left for dead. But why do people respond so violently to what you and I might refer to as the good news, the message of Jesus? Well, it's because included in the message, in the entire message, is our need to take ownership for our brokenness, for our sinfulness, for the way that we fall short. And it also means that we have to embrace that there is one method for the salvation of our brokenness, which is what we celebrate in Easter. The entire message of Easter, the arc of God's love story, says, I'm not going to leave you in that place of brokenness, that place of want, that place of desperate need, that need for salvation. No, I'm going to offer you my son, and my son is going to come and live an exemplary life. And then my son, as a result of that, is going to be killed, but I'm going to raise him up on the third day, which is going to show you that I have power over death, and therefore you have hope for eternal life. Now, there's so much wrapped up in that. I'm not even getting to scratch the entire surface. But my point is that this message includes an acknowledgement of our need to take ownership for our place in all of this. I mean, you don't need a doctor if you don't recognize that you're sick. You don't need salvation unless you recognize your need to be saved from something. This is the broader message of the gospel, the Easter message that has gotten people killed. And in our world today, can even be a risky thing to state publicly. I just encourage you to wrestle with that. As a follower of Christ, as someone who is wanting to be honest with our understanding of God's love and the message of his word, what does this mean to us if we are to embrace the broader message of the gospel, the Easter message? I've got three thoughts for you as we contemplate these things, these similarities between these three messages in the book of Acts. We'll get into those in the next couple days, but I hope I hope this lands well with you and that we can wrestle with this reality. But let's talk a little bit more about it in the coming days. Blessings to you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye for now.